So right now the things I'm going to show off is rotation building, and I'm going to focus primarily on a ranged boss rotation. So very single target. One of the things you'll notice is that I'm not going to use Savage Growth. That's a dot, a nature poison that requires you to be in melee range. So I've replaced that with Swarm. So my primary dots are going to be Swarm, which is really a pet, Vine Lash, fun little range dot, and Briar, a fun little range dot. One of the things you'll notice right now is that they changed Harvest, so it'll refresh dots even on a single target. I think that might be a little OP. So you can see those two little numbers keep ticking. As long as I keep clicking Harvest, they will pretty much stay there, unless I'm actually so slow that... Oh no, my computer's catching up to me. That must have been lag, because you saw those numbers fly at once. So the key things here, I'm going to start with seeing what I can do to speed that up, because I don't want to sit there and just do Swarm, waiting for Vine Lash, waiting for Briar. You know, let's see how fast we can get all that established and ticking. So this time around I'll do it in slow motion. I'm using a rifle, so that's my tap triangle grenade. So let's do grenade, Swarm, phase dodge, grenade, Vine Lash, Briar. And I might even be able to do a second phase dodge in there if everything times out well. If you don't understand what phase dodge is, it is a super speed ability. Deflects even block breaking attacks by vibrating your molecules at fantastic speed, forcing the attack to simply pass through. So it's kind of like a shield. Basically what it does is it vibrates you. One of the things you'll notice is as I'm vibrating, I can get right out of it with a tap melee or tap range or tap melee. Very fast, like, oops, I didn't do it that time. Almost as fast as you went in, you can get out. Why is that important? Let's look at the time it takes to go from, say, Vine Lash to Briar. Vine Lash, now I got my Briar. Well, phase dodge can clip Vine Lash. So let's see that. See, so the Vine Lash went out, but I went into the phase dodge immediately. And again, from phase dodge, I can get out of that with a tap range just that quick. So I'm going to follow that tap range up with a Briar, and I'm going to see how fast I can do Vine Lash, phase dodge, grenade, Briar. So that was pretty quick. That was definitely a lot faster. Not only that, I got that extra grenade in the middle. Now if I want to be really smart about it, I'm actually going to lead off with a grenade too. So let's do. So in that case, I got as fast as my fingers can move, which I'm on a controller. Keyboard player is going to be a lot faster. I was able to get 2 grenades, a Vine Lash, and a Briar off, all within the single attack frame. So let's see if we can. So that's stacking right there. That was a grenade, Swarm, phase dodge, grenade, Vine Lash, phase dodge, grenade, Briar. It's going to consume a lot of power because phase dodge isn't free. But so that's the stacking phase. Let's see if we can do it again. Not bad. If I was really fast, I wouldn't have time to use that second phase dodge, but I did because I'm slow. Now after dots are ticking, we already looked at the fact that once dots are ticking, harvest as it currently stands, and I think this might be OP, will refresh your dots on a single target. So once dots are ticking, you definitely want to keep using harvest. But even if it didn't refresh, even while dots are ticking, you're going to want to use harvest anyway, because let's compare this. Harvest did like a 281. So again, does like 284, 299. Keep in mind I'm on a test server character, so it's like 1885 might, so this is low stats. Compare that to, say, other abilities that have an initial burst tick that you want to be able to take advantage of. Briar, that's a crit, so it doesn't count. 260, 266, 185, 255, 167, 202. You can see harvest definitely hits harder than briar. Let's look at voracious plants. 266, so about the same as harvest. 292, 329, a little bit better than harvest. 300, but it also has a PI. That PI is that if dots are ticking, 498, 392, it does even more damage, 445. So while your dots are ticking, voracious plants is definitely going to be the ability you're going to want to see used. But since you have phase dodge, you can actually cast 2 damage abilities back to back as fast as you can execute that sequence. So what that's going to turn into is wanting to use harvest and voracious plants. Now one of the things I noticed that might be a little bit OP right now is that you can cast voracious plants and then another damage ability. See how fast I was able to do those back to back? The animation time for voracious plants, by the time that's done and lets you do your next damage ability, seems to be almost clipping fast. Like, I don't even need to clip voracious plants with phase dodge. However, even if I'm doing that, I gotta wait out harvest. So why would I want to wait out harvest? So what I'm going to do instead is do harvest, phase dodge into voracious plants, knowing that voracious plants, being at the end of that cycle, will have short enough animation that lets me lead into starting the cycle over again that much sooner. So I'd be like that, grenade out, voracious plants, and then I'm ready to start the cycle again. And again, if I'm smart, I don't lead with harvest, I lead with a grenade and clip it with harvest. So that's what your rotation while dots ticking would look like. You just keep doing that over and over again. So I'll try to get full power and run through that maybe twice. All right. And then I'm out of power. But you can imagine 3 trolls in an Epic Odyssey run, or even 2 trolls, and if you learn how to manage your power and use your sodas and use your supply drops, and if you have to, slow it down and back off a little bit, you know, you can do that 2 trolls too and get massive damage out. So it leads into grenade swarm, phase dodge, get out of that, vine lash, phase dodge, get out of that, briar. Now I'm in my main mode, so grenade, harvest, get out of that, voracious, grenade, harvest, get out of that, voracious. And now we're into full face rolling mode. And since harvest keeps refreshing those dots, the only thing I need to reset up is swarm. You know, so I'll just wait to see if that's out of cooldown and kind of replace either harvest or voracious plants with swarm, you know, to get that back on cooldown. So effectively right now, kind of opinions on the revamp from what I'm seeing here. Harvest refreshing dots is pretty OP. especially if it lets me stay in that second phase indefinitely. Voracious Plants, the damage it does to a target that has a dot on it is fantastic. Please don't change that. Voracious Plants also happens to do initial tick and then 2 small dots afterwards. And Voracious Plants also will hit up to 4 targets. So it is still good, not in just a single target mode. So let's run through this again. Other than that, again, the last thing I'll just kind of close with here is, again, Voracious Plants will let me go into my next ability faster than most abilities would. Let's see if I can get these guys to get new power. Thank you. So, Briar into Voracious, pretty slow. Voracious into Briar, pretty fast.